Hello and welcome to another session of Music Matters with Ev. And I am so pleased to say that I get the opportunity to interview someone who I've known for such a long time, who is a classical pianist and an all-round music producer. And I'm going to give you a hint. If you need your strings sounds sorted, she is the producer to see. Welcome, Claire Sibley.
Oh, hey, it's welcome. I'm really pleased to be here.
Thank you for joining us. And let's kick straight on. Please tell us, who is Claire Sibley?
I don't know. That's quite a question. I'm going to be like learning that for quite some time, I guess. Right now, I am a pianist, as you said. So I'm a classical pianist, and I'm a composer, producer, songwriter, all-round trier. And I'm also training to be a counsellor, as we're just chatting about, as
Excellent.
well. So yeah.
Excellent. So take us back to the beginning. When did your musical journey begin? I know it's in the family, but when did you start to realize, hey, I've got something here?
Well, I don't know if I realised I got something, but at the age of 4, I desperately wanted to play the piano. So I've been learning the piano since I was 4. So
Goodness.
pretty much is from all I can remember, really. Yeah, I've been practicing, and then songwriting. I started doing that at about more kind of 16. Once I'd finished kind of school, further education, I did music tech, and kind of got more into the kind of production side and writing. So, yeah.
When did you start to get into composing?
Funnily enough, through you introduced me to composing.
Oh, you know what?
So yeah,
all about that.
I was gonna say, so yeah, you actually took me to my first studio because you were the music director of a theatre group that I was involved in,
Yeah.
and we were doing some music, and an opportunity to come to your studio, doing some music. We were involved, and that was the first time that I kind of saw the world of outside of learning the piano. I was just focused on the piano. I didn't really think much beyond that, and then all of a sudden I saw there were studios and you can write and make music, and that literally was the start of everything there for me. And it opened up a whole new world.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about a little bit more about your production credits, because I know that you've been busy over the years working with different people, but I want to talk about the element of performance on the piano, because there's a lot that goes into that which people don't generally appreciate. So tell us a little bit about how you go about preparing and what you're thinking about during the performance and things like that.
Practice. So that's the first thing. Scales, I think keeping your hands, doing exercises is really important. Even before I'd practice, I'd spend a good half an hour just kind of warming my hands up. But if I was preparing a piece, I would study the piece. I'd watch all different kind of pianists play it as well. Everyone brings different ideas to it. So before I even attempt it, actually, I'd listen to quite a few people's adaptations of it, and then I would start to learn it myself. Ideally, if it's works for you, I think learning it off script, off the manuscript's good, because then you can really kind of play with the piece and notice kind of how your body moves, and you can it helps you to kind of remember things that way, and then you really get to kind of make your own mark on the piece as well. So I would always advise, if it's something that works for you, if you can do that, then it gives you a new kind of view of the piece as well.
And what's it like when you're actually reciting? I'm going to split that question into two. What's it like when you're reciting the piece, but also what's it like to play in places like St. George's, Brandon Hill?
Oh, that was my favorite ever piano I've played. That was incredible. So yeah, it just brings back, look, it was just incredible. Pianos are like cars, so every piano is different. So you're going to get something different, and to be able to play it on that piano in particular, that just makes the way it touches and your kind of expression, it always pops out a lot more than
Mm,
than some pianos you play. So it's just exciting, but yeah, that was
mhm.
probably my the best piano I played.
And when the recital is taking place, what's going through your mind, Claire? I just want to try and get a picture because we see people like yourself do all of this reciting. What's going in your mind? What's going on?
Well, I try to have nothing going on in my mind because when things does start happening, usually I make mistakes. So
Okay.
the best thing I try to remember is just to remember that I've practiced and I've worked hard, um, and I concentrate on always kind of being one step ahead.
Hmm.
So if that makes sense,
Hmm.
I always kind of make sure that in my head, a little step beyond my fingers. So I'm always
Hmm.
thinking of the next jump, and I'll even kind of look at it
Hmm.
before I go there. So
Hmm.
I try to be in control that way. But
Hmm.
once I start thinking, that's when all that goes out of the window. So
Hmm.
I just try and stay focused on, yeah.
Hmm. Well, thank you for that. Okay, so the next section I'm going to ask you to talk about is your producing because you've been working with a few significant names in the past. Tell us first, how did you get into producing?
Um, so yeah, that was when I mentioned going to the studio with yourself. That was like the
Mhm,
first kind of excitement. And then just as I was finishing school, kind of Logic came onto the scene and
mhm,
Cubase, and it
mhm,
changed the whole kind of world
mm,
of composing. And that was kind of all at my fingertips just as I was in education. So I was really lucky with that. And I did music tech at college, and that gave me a chance to I was at the studios all the time after
mm,
college hours, just be in the studio practicing, playing, and that just gave me a chance to really kind of get into composing and working with other people as
mhm,
well.
mhm,
And that's really important because
mm,
everyone tries, especially with music and producing and writing, everyone tries to do everything or
mhm,
feels that they have to do everything. But there's so
mhm,
many jobs that even mixing and that's a different job altogether for kind of
mhm,
people who train in that. So I think it's
mhm,
more people you work with, you kind of
mhm,
you can all kind of help each other and go towards your strengths
mm,
and learn off each other as well.
mm.
So
Nice. And you've been producing for people across the waters, as we speak, as we say.
yeah.
I know you've spoken about some people in America that you've been working with. How did that come
Yeah.
about?
Well, just through the internet, really. There's so many platforms these days that you can use just to get your work out there. And I just been doing that back about 15 years ago as Music X-Ray. I think that's still going around now, but it's a way that you can kind of show your stuff to publishers or managers and other artists and get yourself heard. And it was just a case of just plugging away, sending stuff off, creating relationships and taking it from there. And just getting yourself out there and talking to as many people as you can, really.
That's so interesting. I'm not going to ask you to name drop, although it would be so incredible to hear some of the people that you've been working with. You can
Oh,
if you want.
oh. I have worked with Bernard Jackson of Surface.
Okay.
So and he was a particular favorite person. So I'll name
Mm.
drop you that one.
Okay, thank you. All right, so you mentioned about, oh, that's the other question. I almost forgot. I know you, Claire, as I'm going to call you the princess of string sound quality.
Well,
How?
that's quite a title. I like that.
It's the truth. It
Oh,
is the truth. All of the productions I've heard you do, I've just been amazed by the sound of the strings. I mean, apart from everything else, but the sound of the strings is what really makes me think, oh my goodness, Claire has got it. So, where did it come from?
I don't know. I guess my love of classical. Being a pianist, you play a lot of different parts as well, and you get to study a lot of different parts. So I guess it's just from there. I have no idea. I just hear melodies and try it out. I always record loads of different attempts and then kind of
Mm,
pick and choose. But yeah, I love classical music and I love strings, so I guess I'm always listening to that. And I think when you listen to styles of music as well, it kind of imprints a little bit as well.
Okay, well, I'm going to set you a task, okay? Before I leave this existence, I want to see a book by Claire
Oh,
Sibley titled The Essence of String Production.
yeah, I'll be interested to read that book myself. But yeah, I'll look into that.
Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm sorry I'm going to have to ask you about this, but how did 2020 affect your musical activity?
Well, my story probably will be a bit more different because not too much, because I work a lot, as we mentioned. I work a lot online, so I've always been, most people I collaborate with at the moment, actually I always work online anyway, so it hasn't, I've been really fortunate as it hasn't changed the way I work much. If anything, I've had people coming to me saying, hey Claire, I need to kind of get more in line with the kind of stuff that you're doing, like what, you know, what's going on. So it's a bit of a different story, I guess, there. So
Good.
I mean, in terms of projects, it's halted some, as you know, people I'm working with, everyone's been either teaching, you know, kids at home and like having to teach, so we haven't been able to kind of have the time as much we've had. So there has been a couple of projects which have halted, but I've still been working in the same way as I always have been. So
good. That sounds good. And what do you see of the near future?
I guess more working with online. I think so. I think as well with theatres and stuff. Now that I've been to a couple of theatre shows in this lockdown, which has been quite exciting, going to like the National, and then the actors are right there as well, and you're sat on your sofa. It's an interesting. It's really interesting. I mean, I'm hoping. I think it will never stop people wanting to come and experience live music and you know, live performance. I don't think that's ever going to stop. If anything, hopefully now it's going to open the doors for people, you know, to not actually have to be in the venue, and it hopefully actually, once it all kind of gets back together, open even more avenues, I hope.
Okay. And what would you advise anyone wishing to follow in your footsteps, take up music as an activity, become a producer, arranger, and recorder? What advice would you give them?
Just go with your strengths. Always work with the strengths that you've got, and work hard and learn about your craft. Really, it's the most important thing. And work with, you know, work with other people. We're so lucky that we have got the platforms we have. You could, you know, there's lots of people all around the world who will have probably the same questions and be in the same boat as you, who are willing to kind of learn together as well. So, you know, use all the kind of platforms we've got. YouTube's fantastic. Even now when I work on Logic, but if you've just got a little question or a thought, you just go onto like YouTube, and there's all these videos out there with people explaining exactly what to do, and then you learn even more. So there's so much available for you to kind of just to really immerse yourself in it. So I would say immerse yourself and you know, play towards your strengths and work with as many people as you can, really.
Nice. And where can we keep in touch with you, Claire? Where can we hear what you're doing and see maybe some of your past work? Or have you got a website, or are you on social? You are on social media, but
On social media. So yeah, if you type my name in, I'll be on there, and there's links there. I've got some piano pieces on YouTube that I'm playing, and I'm on a couple of people's kind of albums. I can always drop links in the comments or something.
okay. Links in this comment of our interview here, or
whatever's easiest. I can always
okay, I can get them from you and then I can put them in later on. Okay, so you are accessible online. That's good. That's good. That's good to know. Okay, so the last question is for you to tell us, if 2020 was a human being, what would you say to him or her?
Oh wow. What's going on? What's up? You know, is it something you want to talk about?
You'd Marvin
Yeah,
Gaye
yeah. What's going on?
it. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's excellent. All right. Well, that is so cool. So funny. Of everybody I talk to, everyone's come out with something different. So it's just such an interesting topic to find out. But
Yeah,
yeah.
that is a good question.
So, so Claire, what I'm going to ask you is, we're going to come back. I want to know with yourself what's going on. So will you be prepared to come back and interview again to let us
Yes.
know of any new projects and any new people and so on?
Yeah.
And also to take us a little bit into the sort of music stroke counseling stroke, you know.
Yeah, we can talk about that. That'd be great. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And until
Okay.
next time, take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.